I'm just going to give a moment for folks to trickle in here from the waiting room. Okay, great. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sarah Bassett, the MOQ1 Knowledge Manager, and I will be your guide through this 6-week advanced webinar series on mastering MOQ1. Whether you're just starting out with MOQ1 or you're looking to take your experience to the next level, this series is designed to give you the tools and insights you need to thrive. Each week, we'll dive into powerful strategies and tips that will help you unlock the full potential of MOQ1. Today's session is all about use cases and marketing strategies, and I'm excited to share practical insights to give you a competitive advantage and help you better serve your clients. Today, we will be discussing specific use cases for MOQ1 shops, reviewing the ways our most successful partners are implementing MOQ1 into their business models, and offering marketing tips to help you and your clients get excited about e-commerce. We also have a very special surprise for everyone attending, so please be sure to stay through the end of the presentation. We'll have time reserved for a Q&A at the end of this presentation, but please feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A section as they come up. I'll make sure they're addressed. But remember, this is just the beginning. Over the next 6 weeks, we'll explore even more topics, from optimizing your designs to setting your sales team up on the platform. So get ready to dive deep, learn a lot, and let's leave this session with actionable strategies that you can apply to your business immediately. Let's get started. So you have an MOQ1 account. You know this could be a valuable tool. Maybe you've even created a few shops, but you're still not quite sure how this is going to work for your business. In the traditional world of promotional products, dealers and decorators have been creating shops by request only. And who can blame you? Traditional shop building takes not only a significant amount of time, but usually there's a financial investment required as well. Many clients avoid asking for shops or merchandise at all because they aren't sure they'll be able to sell enough product to make it worth it. The key to unlocking MOQ1 is to change your mindset about web stores and merchandising so you're no longer leaving money on the table. When you begin gifting shops to your existing and prospective clients, you'll unlock a powerful new revenue stream and set yourself apart from your competitors, removing the barriers your clients have traditionally experienced. Simple shop setup combined with our automated production integration eliminates all the traditional barriers to entry for your clients. There are thousands of dealers and decorators using the MOQ1 platform today, and we've taken note of some particular strategies that have been utilized by our most successful partners. Sharing with permission, but a veil of anonymity, let's review some specific scenarios. John is a team dealer. His niche is youth travel and dome baseball, and the teams he works with like to buy a lot of gear. He provides practice shirts and sweatpants, as well as fan gear for the parents, so his teams bring him a lot of business. When John was utilizing the traditional pop-up shop model, his customers were experiencing some common pain points. Coaches hated coordinating team orders, collecting payment, sorting, and distributing to players. I'm sure the team dealers in the audience have heard the same complaints. Parents wanted more flexibility in ordering single items and didn't always want to commit to large quantities all at once. When John discovered MOQ1, he saw it as an opportunity to expand his business and make his existing teams happier. He began setting up MOQ1 shops for each of the teams he was already working with and sending the links to the coaches. Immediately, sales started rolling in. He noticed that coaches were ordering more gear for themselves and offering shop links to parents who asked about new fan apparel. Some coaches were asking for specific designs to be added so players could replace the practice shirts they'd lost or damaged. Others were requesting new designs for upcoming tournaments, and some even started asking if there was any way to use these shops for team fundraising. By eliminating his team's frustrations with bulk order distribution and order minimums, John was able to use MOQ1's fast turnaround times to help coaches leverage online shops in ways that they hadn't been exploring. He was able to increase his revenue by more than 30% and expects that number to continue to grow. He plans to continue creating MOQ1 shops for all of his teams for player gear and fan apparel, but this year he's going to level up and start highlighting these shops' potential as use cases for specific events, and fundraising. Now let's talk about Ben. Ben is a screen printer. He's been in business for nearly 20 years and is the go-to guy for local screen printing requests in his city. He operates with a minimum order quantity of 12, but he never thought an order was worth the setup time until it hit about 50 pieces, especially when the customer was requesting complex artwork or multicolored designs. Ben told us that 50% of his work every year only accounted for 15% of his revenue. It was all those small orders taking up his time and not really adding much to his bottom line. Unnecessary evil, he called it, and a service he says he unfortunately has to offer in order to keep his relationship strong with his clients. After he got his MOQ1 account, Ben started offering shops to clients when they requested lower quantity runs as a way to outsource those less profitable orders. What he found was that his clients actually ordered more through his MOQ1 shops than they were originally requesting. He realized his customers were ordering a more complex product and design mix once the minimum order quantity was out of the way. Companies were previously submitting small orders to outfit their employees with t-shirt uniforms, but the direct access to online ordering gave the employees an incentive to order sweatshirts and zip-ups for themselves too. Then he had an idea. He started creating MOQ1 shops for clients when they placed any screen printed orders, and the shop itself became a bonus product for his customers. Customers were able to use their MOQ1 shops to order individual items after their bulk orders were fulfilled. Soon, he started using MOQ1 shops as a tool to fulfill the complex designs that were previously too tedious for him to enjoy printing. Ben says his favorite thing about MOQ1 now is that it puts him in a position to say yes to every client so he can increase his revenue without the hassle. Let's look through one more scenario. So Angela is an independent sales rep. Her client base includes mid to large businesses, a few sports teams, and organizations that can afford to place significant orders. She helps some of her larger clients utilize web stores, but the process of selecting products, proofing designs, and coordinating the shop builds was pretty overwhelming to her. When she discovered MOQ1, she thought it might be a good way to speed up the shop creation process for her clients. She started moving her existing online stores over to MOQ1 and found it easy enough. She loved the automated fulfillment process and how easy it made it for her to build and manage web stores as compared to her old process. But then she had an idea. Angela told me she had a light bulb moment when she was out to lunch with her mom one day. She noticed that their server was wearing a restaurant branded t-shirt with a catchphrase on the back that made her smile. She realized MOQ1 could help businesses like that restaurant offer merch to their employees and customers. It got her gears turning, and she realized she could actually create shops for all her favorite restaurants and offer them up for free. In her experience, businesses like that generally didn't have the budget to meet minimum order requirements and were often overwhelmed at the prospect of managing inventory at all. Between restaurants and breweries, she gained 12 new clients in the month of November alone and made nearly $9,000 in revenue through those businesses in December. So how can you market these shops to your clients so they actually generate sales? That's why we're all here, right? The best way to sell your client on the idea of an MOQ1 shop is to present them an MOQ1 shop. This platform provides you an opportunity to gift shops to your clients to deepen your existing customer relationships. When you're working to acquire new business, you're going to stand out against the competition when you deliver a fully populated shop without weeks of back and forth. For small businesses like those Angela is now working with, you're offering a path to custom merch for businesses who haven't been able to justify the investment via traditional routes. After creating the shop, you can email your client the link along with a list of value propositions for the shop itself, which I will provide you in my follow-up email later today, and a request for a meeting to review the shop with the client either in person or via a video call. This meeting will provide you the opportunity to tweak the shop based on your client's needs in real time, then leave them with a fully optimized shop from day one. No more delayed setups. Your client can order from their shop immediately. Now here's the exciting part. To make this offer even sweeter for your clients, the attendees of today's webinar are part of an exciting pilot program to help you engage your clients right away. To help you kickstart orders and excite your clients, we're going to provide each of you 20 $25 gift codes that you can use to help market your shops to your clients. Pass a code to each client when you launch their shop to encourage them to place an order and experience how seamless the process is. If these codes help you engage your clients and drive revenue to your shops, we'll be launching this program system-wide to automatically provide one $25 code for every shop you create. I will be sending a link in my follow-up email later today that you can use to request your codes. Once your customers have experienced the purchase process for themselves and gotten their hands on a sample, we know they'll be eager to share the shops in any way they can. Within my follow-up email, I'll also be including a recording of this webinar, along with an email template and sell sheet that you can present to your customers to get them excited. So let's put ourselves in your client's shoes for a moment and review the value propositions of MOQ1 shops from their perspectives. Orders ship directly to customers, no order sorting. Shops are open 24/7. There are no order minimums and no inventory management or back orders. Bulk discounting is included. Shops are fully stocked without a manual product selection process. And shops are fully customizable to include any design or product color. I also want to note it's not included on this sheet, but customer service is also included. When they're sold on the idea of their new MOQ1 shop, you can help them market their shops to their customers too. This is a fundamental change for your customer as much as it has been for you. MOQ1 shops give them access to a truly stress-free e-commerce experience. You can help your clients generate a QR code that they can integrate into their brick and mortar locations. Restaurants can add QR codes to their menus, small shops can post them on the walls, and even add it to their checkout counters. You can incentivize your clients to share their shops by profit sharing and providing rebates to your clients. We make it really easy within the MOQ1 platform to share a portion of your markup with your client without giving them access to the shop itself. For example, you can increase every product price by $1, then share 100% of that markup with your client. When your clients have skin in the game, they'll be more motivated to spread the word. They can share links on social media, integrate their shop links into email marketing campaigns, add links to their websites, and even add a QR code to their business cards or within their physical business locations. The more excited your customers are about their shops, the more sales they'll generate, and that will translate to more money in your pocket. So let's jump into the Q&A portion of the webinar. How do you see this working for your business? And does this help generate some new ideas for you about how to utilize MOQ1? Okay, so we have a few questions that are rolling in. First, in terms of team orders, will there be a feature to be able to customize the backs of products to include player names and numbers? Yes. Thank you for asking that, Dennis. That's a really exciting new feature that we're looking forward to in 2025. I don't have an ETA on it just yet, but we do see the need for you to be able to integrate that into your workflows. So that's functionality that we are working to add. We have a question here. One of my concerns is knowing that the artwork I provide will print properly. Finding out after a product delivers is too late. How can I be sure? Is there a way to have someone evaluate artwork prior to uploading it to a store? So Ralph, we can absolutely assist you with that. If you want to send it our way, we are happy to review to make sure that it's meeting our minimum art specifications. And we can advise you on how to optimize your design for print as well. But again, I encourage you to order a sample. I know you can't do that for every single design that you upload. So please use us as a resource as much as you need to. But once you get comfortable with the process, we feel like you'll be able to make that discernment for yourself. But we are here as a resource along the way. How is customer service handled in terms of order status updates, changes to a customer or changes a customer wants to make after the order has been placed, adding new items, etc. So every order is standalone, and your customer will receive automated updates throughout the order fulfillment process. So as soon as their order is placed, they will receive a confirmation email that includes an order number, the mock-up for the products that they ordered, as well as the quantity, size, and color variants that they selected. They can use that order number to search within your MOQ1 shop within the footer, there is actually a track order link. They can submit that order and see in real time where their order is at in the production process, but they'll also receive an email notification as soon as the order ships. That will link them up with their tracking information so that they can see their product in transit as well and track it the entire way. So I hope that answers your question, Andrew. If your customer wanted to make changes to an order after it was placed, unfortunately, that's not something we're generally able to accommodate. They can reach out to us as quickly as possible. However, one of the benefits of MOQ1 is our super fast production, right? So as soon as an order is placed, we start the production process. We're taking those products off the shelves and beginning to print them right away. So generally, we actually have a disclaimer on the MOQ1 shops that advise your customers to double, triple check all of their orders before they hit that submit button and make sure that all the variants and design selections are exactly what they want them to be. They can always reach out to us. If we haven't started the printing process, we can cancel those orders, but there's a very, very short window of time in order to expedite the fulfillment process. Just have some positive comments rolling in as I'm scrolling through. Thank you, Robert, for the compliments. We have a question here. How does the commission work and what are the margins? So the margins are going to depend on what role you are playing within your company. I know we have some reps and some admins that are present on the webinar today. So I don't want to reveal too much, but we do have a base margin that is built into the product cost. You can reach out to us to see what that is for you if you are a shop admin. And your shop admins are determining the commission sharing for their reps as the accounts are created. So that will vary from account to account. But again, we do build in a base commission percentage into the MSRP that is automatically loaded into the shop. You can increase the product price in any way, either by dollar amount or percentage, very easily within the product management feed. So if you want to attend one of our Tuesday webinars, we go through a lot of that information as well. So we can walk you through the steps to control the product pricing a little bit more. So Dawn, I invite you to register for that webinar as well. You can find a link to that on the home.moq1.com page. So take a look there. We have a question about what the best contact email is for questions. So you can reach out to us at support@moq1.com. And our technical support team will be able to walk you through anything related to the use of the platform. If you have questions about how to utilize this for your business, we do have a sales team who can help connect you with resources and just brainstorm how to make this work for your particular business scenario. Again, there is no cost to MOQ1, but you can reach out to that team at sales@moq1.com. I will include all of this contact information in my follow-up email. So don't worry if you don't have a pen to write that down. I will link you up with that contact information. Can an order be placed with a different ship to address than the billing address for the credit card used for payment? Yes, absolutely. So by default, your customer is entering the shipping address first, and we actually have some functionality built into the checkout process that will allow them to either apply that same address as their billing address or enter a new one. So we accommodate both scenarios. We want it to be a smooth checkout process for your customer. So it's going to align with traditional e-commerce expectations. We have someone saying, I use Shopify now, so it's a similar process, but you do everything. Yes. So MOQ1 is a completely vertical e-commerce solution, right? So you can automate the shop creation process. So that's a pretty severe edge that we have over the world of Shopify. There are no manual product builds. The fulfillment is also automatically integrated with your MOQ1 shops. So there is no need to find a supplier. You don't need to download orders and submit those SKUs. You don't need to manage inventory. This is something that we handle for you completely in-house. All you receive from us is a commission check for the profits that you make off of these shops, again, based on that base commission amount if you are a shop admin. So I hope that answers your question, Linda. If not, please ask another one in the feed. I'll do my best to answer. Is the website customizable for each customer, and can I add a logo to the site? That is the #1 new feature on our list for development in Q1 of this year. So we are doing our best to bring that forward as quickly as possible. We understand that that's a really common ask for folks to be able to add custom headers, logos, to add custom fonts and colors, things like that. So we're working on that functionality and bringing that to you as quickly as possible. Again, no precise ETA, but that one is our top priority right now. What if the customer changed their mind on some items and wanted to change something before the order goes into production? So Andrew, if they contact us prior to an order entering production, we can cancel the order right away. We would refund it fully generally if it weren't canceling an item off an order in order to avoid interrupting that automation. But again, if the customer contacts us prior to production beginning on the order, we will accommodate any changes that we can accommodate. Is there a way to customize the order confirmation message and email so it references our company? So Bart, that's a great question. This is something that we are solving for within our enterprise solution. If you think that it might be right for you, there are some minimum order requirements or a minimum order volume requirements in addition to a small setup fee. You can reach out to us to talk more about that. Right now, for the general MOQ1 use case, we are not offering the ability to customize that messaging. The reason for that is we want your customer to be able to unify the shopping experience between their order confirmation emails and their credit card statements. So the credit card statement will say MOQ1 as the line item on the charge. So we want your customer to know where that's coming from. So we integrate the MOQ1 name into the email confirmations as well. However, your logos are on the garments, so they're able to connect the order confirmation email to the purchase experience that they had with your shop as well. How is a client profit split accounted for in reports? Do I have to send splits myself? Are there any options? So when you add a payable to a particular shop that you create, that payable will generate as a line item on the check that you receive. So you will distribute the funds to your payables at your discretion, but the payable creation allows us to handle the accounting for you. So you can also access that information within the reporting functions of the platform to support those things and provide reporting to your clients that will give them some insights into the performance of their shops and support the commission number and profit sharing numbers that you are sharing with them. One question here from Charles. We are already giving away 1 free t-shirt for each of our shops, so the coupons will help tremendously. I'm really glad to hear that, Charles. I think that's a great strategy. We think that it will help everyone. We want your customers to experience this and get excited enough about it that they want to bring these to market and bring them to their consumers. I just created a short 3-minute walkthrough video for our stores to send to clients. Does MOQ1 plan to do any videos or maybe 1-page flyers that we can send to our customers to better help them market their stores? So yes, I will include a flyer in my email follow-up to everyone. We do have plans for a video, but we're just trying to make sure that it can accommodate as many people as possible. So we're reviewing the value propositions and store intro features that we want to highlight for that. But yes, Charles, we are working on an introductory video to help get your client excited about their shops. What decoration options are available, and could end users select location and art options for each item? So Dawn, that's actually exactly how the platform is built, which is super exciting. So we have a full front, left chest, and full back print location available for all apparel, and your customer is able to customize the location and the artwork selection for every product in the catalog. So let's say, for instance, your customer wanted the Gildan 5000 t-shirt. They would select that product. It would be automatically populated with a design and a color variant on that product details page, but your customer can click the View More Designs button and select any design that you've uploaded and made available in that shop. They can also customize the design position in order to switch that over to a left chest or generate that design on the back of the garment as well. We are working on adding a few additional print locations. So I see your question is about the sleeve option specifically. We're working on sleeve and back yoke print locations. Sleeve is probably going to be a little bit further down the line because we'll need to take some new mock-up images for the products that we have in the shop, but the back yoke we're looking forward to adding soon. And yes, your end user can select multiple print locations. There's an additional print cost that's built into the shops to accommodate for that extra cost, so that again, nothing is ever charged to you and the customer is able to make that determination for themselves. We have a question about the return policy. So because of the custom nature of the printing process for these, we do not accept returns just based on your customer changing their mind about an order that they placed. However, we guarantee our product quality 100%. If your customer receives any print defects, their order is lost in transit, damaged in transit, any kind of anomaly with the product itself, we will replace that at absolutely no cost to your customer. So please encourage them to reach out to us if they have that kind of experience. It's pretty rare, but we will absolutely accommodate those situations. Our defect rate is less than 0.1% in our entire production facility, and that includes post-receipt of the orders. So again, we will accommodate those requests, but have your customer reach out to us. We can handle those efficiently for them. How do profit sharing and rebates work? Does their portion go directly into a bank account? Do they receive a check? And can we share our margin with our customer like a charity? So let's go through these one by one. So the profit sharing and rebates would work for you as you receiving the full commission check for the entire profit for all of the shops that you have created. However, if you create a payable within a shop, we do the calculation for you based on the percentage of profit that you want to share with that client. Then we would list that amount out as a line item on your check so that you know what to distribute to your client. You are always in control of your funds, so you are the one who would be distributing that to your client in whatever way you see fit. You could send them a check or you could do an ACH payment, depending on how you generally handle those kinds of things with your client. Can we share our 30% margin with our customer like a charity? So right now, the system allows you to share that 30% margin with the reps that you have invited to the platform. The profit sharing for a business owner that you're presenting this to is limited to the markup right now for those products, but that's a scenario that we're looking into. If you wanted to share that margin, what I would suggest would be we have some reporting built into the platform that allows you to generate a report of sales by shop. So you can see the total sales and total commission owed to you for sales in that particular shop. And then you could take a 30% cut of that particular profit if you wanted to share that with them. ETA on additional hard goods, and what categories are we looking at for those? So we have added the functionality to accommodate UV printing. So we're exploring which products we can actually add with that development in that print method. So we don't have a precise list or ETA of those things just yet, but that's one of our top priorities in regard to products. As a company, I can share compensation with the shop owner, and can it also be shared with our sales rep? So yes, Mauricio, you absolutely can. So how this works, you are in control of the profit from the jump. When you add a sales rep to your company directory, you can make the determination as to how much of your profit you want to share with that sales rep for them to collect based on sales in shops that they've created. So for instance, let's say I am you, Mauricio, and I am inviting Jen, my sales rep. I want her to receive 50% of my base commission. So when I create her account, I will enable profit sharing with her, and I will share 50% of my base commission. Now, when Jen creates shops, her sales will automatically have my commission attached to them. 50% of that commission would go to Jen as a line item on the check that you receive. So I hope that that makes that part clear. Now, when it comes to sharing with a shop owner or a client of yours, I would advise marking products up by maybe $1, $2, and sharing a dollar amount per sale with your client. It gets a little bit easier to manage the customer's expectations when you're sharing a particular dollar amount as opposed to a percentage off of each sale. The accounting we will handle for you. So again, that would be listed as a line item on the check. We would accommodate that accounting on our end automatically. But in order for your customers' expectations to be followed, I think that sharing a particular dollar amount per sale works best in that scenario. I went through a walkthrough on the commission sharing, but I'm still somewhat confused. Is there someone I can speak with that can answer those questions? Absolutely. So Charles, if you want to reach out to our support team, or maybe we can connect after this call, I'm happy to work through that with you in your particular scenario and make sure that we have everything set up correctly for your business. Who should we connect with to get fully trained on setting up the MOQ1 sites? So Andrew, first of all, I would advise you to attend our Tuesday webinar if you haven't already. So on Tuesdays, we go through an entire walkthrough of the platform to give you the basics of shop creation and management. And we roll through a Q&A section in that webinar as well. However, if you want a one-on-one demo, you can reach out to that sales@moq1.com email, and they can help you get set up with a demo for yourselves. Oh, and you came to that conclusion also. I'm sorry, I'm 11 minutes behind on these questions. I appreciate that they keep rolling in, but I apologize for any late answers. Will we eventually have a landing page for all of our shops for customers to view, or do we need to build that on our own? That's a great question, Robert. So this is actually the first time I'm receiving that suggestion in a Q&A. So I will bring that to the rest of the team and see if that's something we're able to accommodate. That's not in our roadmap or on our roadmap right now, but I appreciate the suggestion and I'll bring that to the team. There should also be a link to a help file for customer stores as well. So Charles, I think you're referencing having resources for you to bring to your client. So what we are actually in the process of filling out within the MOQ1 platform, when you are logged into your account, you'll see that there is a left navigation menu item called marketing. That marketing tab is currently where you can get links to share shops on social, but eventually this will be a resource for you to download those single page mailers and access any video content that we've created for you to be able to share with your clients. So I encourage you to check that out. We will send email updates as we continue to evolve that section of the platform as more resources are added. So look out for those updates as well. So we do have a question about quality of print and embroidery regarding custom thread colors, etc. So we actually don't offer embroidery here at Bespoke Labs. We discontinued embroidery about 2.5 years ago, and the customer response has been overwhelmingly positive. What we encourage you to do if you have a customer that is adamant that they want to have embroidery in their shop, I recommend that you order them a peak polo with a left chest logo printed on it and actually present that to your client. In the current state of printing, folks are generally, their expectations are pretty low for how their logo will translate to print on particular garments, like a peak polo, right? That's a traditionally embroidered garment because it presents some unique challenges for decorators. So when you show them how their logo will translate to our proprietary print process called Digisoft, I think that they'll be really pleased with the design fidelity that you're able to offer as compared to when you're limited by embroidery, both in the thread color availability and the size of small details that are able to be recreated with that print method. Can you customize the size of artwork on apparel, or does it have to be the full front, back, etc.? So right now we are limited to the presets that are loaded into the MOQ1 shops, but we've received feedback over the last couple of months as we've taken this out into the promotional products world that folks are interested in that customization. So that's a feature that we're working on developing. That's on our roadmap for ASAP. What is shipped with the product? Any pricing? So we include absolutely no inserts with the products. We want this to be a white labeled experience for your customer. So they won't receive any wholesale pricing or anything like that. All that communication is done via email. So they receive those order confirmations with their totals that they can reference as well. Let's say a customer has a store and they're ready to close and want their commission check, but it's not $100. So Ashley is referencing our commission threshold for when we remit those checks to you. So let's just make sure that we back up so everyone understands. So commission checks are issued on the 15th of the following month for sales in the previous month. So for instance, the commission checks for sales that occurred in the month of January will go out on February 15th. So those commission checks as a company total should reach $100 in order for us to cut that check to you. That amount will roll over every month. So if it takes 3 months to accumulate that $100 in sales, then it will take 3 months, and we will add all of those sales together and send you the total once you reach that threshold. So actually, the commission threshold is not based on a particular shop. This is based on you as a company generating those commissions. So if you have, 3 stores and they're each generating $35 worth of commissions, you would reach that threshold and you'd be able to divide up those commissions to your clients. I hope that answers it. If it doesn't, please follow up with another question, or you can reach out to me afterward and we can go over that a little bit more thoroughly. It looks like at the shop level, you can add users. Are we allowed to add a client as a report viewer at the shop level, or would there be any purpose in that? Yes, absolutely, you can add your clients as report viewers. So the report viewer functionality that you see within the shops, that will restrict your client's access or that user's access to visibility of only that shop, but they will only see the reporting functions. They won't see the product management, design management, or anything like that. You can also share profit with those report viewers, but if you don't, they won't see any commissions in your reporting. They will only see sales and traffic data. So that's a really valuable tool for you to be able to provide some insight to your clients by just giving them their own login. Some folks prefer to have those conversations one-on-one and send out a report to their client. It also provides a great opportunity to touch base with their client intermittently about the success of their shops. And that's another way that they can provide some value and give them some marketing tips on how to maybe boost sales and pursue some avenues that they haven't been with distributing the shops. Is there more than one manufacturer offered for products? So yes, absolutely. We have a whole host of manufacturers, and of those you will see Gildan, Champion, Bella Canvas, Next Level, and a host of others. So if you head to your MOQ1 account, you can actually sort the product page by brand. If you open up that brand filter at the bottom, and you can take a look at all the brands that are offered. Those brands are also integrated into the product titles, so your customer can see them on the front end as well. If we allow reps to set up their own shops, what emails and information do they get along the way? So we actually have a fully evolved welcome flow for your reps that they'll receive to help integrate them into the platform and learn what they need to learn in order to successfully build and market shops to their clients. So they see information that is relevant to their success and use of the platform, Jed. A lot of that information has crossover with what you received as a shop admin. So lots of educational information and how-tos about using the platform. But yes, if you have any particular questions about what they're seeing, I would be happy to share that with you so that you can get some insights into exactly what they're receiving. Will sleeve or pant leg be available eventually for decoration? So yes, Robert, I know I reviewed that a few minutes ago, but this question came in before I got to it. We're working on some additional print locations. So right now with the bottoms, we're limited to just the hip. We are looking into some leg prints as well. There are just a few redundant questions that I went over. I'm just going to skip past these about customizing size imprints, just because we did review that as well, and things about embroidery as well. So we don't have any plans to reintroduce embroidery here at Bespoke Labs. Our clientele have been more than happy with the transition over to Digisoft prints for apparel and those sublimated patches for hats. So I encourage you to order samples of those so that you can see the product quality for yourself and decide whether those are things that you want to include in your MOQ1 shops or if you want to pursue other avenues with those. Yes, so Chip, we also have a lot of variety in our product catalog within the apparel genre for fabric type. So one of the great things about that Digisoft printing technology is that we are able to offer true design fidelity regardless of garment fabrication. So that's something that we've been really excited about over here. So for those of you that are not familiar, Digisoft is our proprietary print method. And actually, I have some samples here. I'm going to take a minute and just share. I think we have enough time. So let's go through this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can show you guys. Okay. Okay, so here we have a 100% polyester garment that is printed with a full color gradient and those bright white small detailed lines. This is a flexible print. This is not going to crack or fade. And this also has incredible durability and washability, especially as compared to traditional methods that folks have used to decorate these synthetic fabrics. I also want to highlight, we have a poly cotton blend here. This is a Gildan 185 or 18,500. And we have the very deep pigmented black inks in addition to those bright yellows. Again, Digisoft sits firmly on top of the garment without seeping in and limiting the color vibrancy, right? So this is a really difficult print for print on demand methods to hit. So the decorators in the crowd, I think, will appreciate this one a lot. One more that I like to shout out for decorators specifically, this is another G185. For the decorators in the crowd, you're probably very familiar with the dye migration that occurs, particularly with red garments and white prints. Because Digisoft does such a great job of sitting on top of the garment, we don't see any of that dye migration. So for the folks that are not decorators in the crowd, often what you would see with other on-demand print methods is a pink print. You would see the dye from the garment leaching into the white fabric, or I'm sorry, the white ink of the print. And folks would be walking around with pink prints on their chest when they intended white. So that's a really powerful example, particularly for the decorators, but for anyone who may have a red and white themed business as well. Do you think the ability to prevent certain logos or logo colors on certain apparel will be available soon? So Bart, I'm going to expand on this for the folks who are not familiar with this, but we offer a color knockout technology within the MOQ1 shops. So that allows you to limit whether your logo will display on a certain garment color. So for instance, if you upload a white logo, you can tell our system not to display that white logo on white garments, and your client will never see that in the product feed. Now, where we're looking to take that technology is to potentially restrict your customer from being able to select a white logo and a white garment at the same time. Now, our philosophy is to allow the customers freedom of choice, but we understand that you as shop owners also want to have that control. So that's functionality that we're looking at adding. We just need to be really cognizant of how we implement that in order to avoid restricting folks that don't want that to be implemented in their shops. So I hope that answers your question, Bart, but you can reach out to us afterward if you want to talk about that more thoroughly. I'm just trying to review a few more questions here. I haven't heard anything about stickers, or would this item fall under UV printing? So stickers are going to be a separate product type. We've experimented with stickers in the past. I don't have an ETA on when those will be added to the catalog or whether they will be at all. However, we are always experimenting with new products. If you have additional product recommendations or requests, please send those to us. We're always trying to work those into our production processes to see if they're a realistic item that we can add to the catalog. So Charles, please send those recommendations our way and we'll take a look. Markup split and how is that reported? As the admin, I would be responsible to send those markup splits. So John, within the reporting section of your MOQ1 account, you'll see a sales by payable report. That sales by payable report will support any of the checks that you need to distribute, and you'll see the sales that are associated with the shops and the commission splits associated with your payables. However, when you receive a commission check from us, we will actually print your payables as line items on the checks so that you have a quick reference for how much money is owed to each of your payables. So I hope that that answers your question. Can you go into more detail about rebates? And thank you for the compliment. So the rebates, this is going to be a profit sharing option for you to present to your client. So let's run through this scenario. Actually, we're running a little bit late here, or a little low on time. So Brett, I am going to reach out to you with some information about how to create payables at the shop level. And I can include that for everybody in my follow-up email. And you can reference that resource to get more information about that in detail, more of a step-by-step tutorial. However, when you want to profit share with your client, you can head to the shop that you created for them, and you'll see a tab labeled commissions in the left navigation menu. When you click that, you can enable profit sharing for that particular shop, and you can designate a certain percentage of your markup to be basically set aside in our accounting for your client. And then again, that gets printed out on your commission check for you to distribute to that client based on whatever percentage you told us to set aside. So I hope that helps. Does the markup allow both a percentage or a fixed dollar amount? Yes, absolutely. So when you're marking up a product, you can mark up a single product, a filtered view of products. So for instance, you could mark up all sweatshirts, or you can mark up the entire catalog. When you click that button to mark up your products, you'll be presented with a dollar amount screen by default. However, there's a tab right above the dollar amount module where you can switch that over to a percentage. So that will add a percentage of the current sale price. So for instance, the G500 comes into your shop at $17.95 by default. If you add 10% to that, it's going to add about $1.80 to the purchase price. So I hope that helps, Jed. Since you are doing the accounting, will I get a 1099 from you, or are we responsible for that? So you will receive a 1099 from us if you exceed $600 in sales, in commissions in a calendar year, because we are distributing those funds to you. However, if you choose to distribute them to your client, you would be responsible for that 1099. And again, I believe the law is that $600 threshold, but I would confirm that with your accounting team just to make sure that you're providing your clients with all the information you need to. Okay. I was referencing our clients or their customers having a help file should they have any questions about ordering. Oh, Charles, I apologize for that. I misunderstood your earlier question. So we do have a frequently asked questions page built into all MOQ1 shops. So they can click that in the footer. So you'll see an FAQ section, and they can find all of the frequently asked questions that have to do with actually navigating the shop itself. However, if your client wants help with shop setup, or things like that, that's where you are going to be their best resource, right? So we want you to be able to add value to your clients by actually tweaking these shops with them and providing that immediate feedback, right? So they can tell you that they want this particular design, or they may want a featured product that has this special design, and then you can provide that value to them incredibly easily, and they never have to know how easy it is, but you can provide that to them. If there's anything that we can help accommodate with that, Charles, please let us know. We're happy to provide you any resources that we have that can help you along the way. Is there a time the commission amount would expire before it reaches $100 to send out a check? I'm not aware of any time limit on our end. We are just calculating a cumulative amount that you have accrued over time. So once you reach that $100 cumulatively over time, that's when we would submit that check to you. Okay, what is shipped with the product? Any pricing? I assume a packing list, but I plan to place orders for samples for my clients. So again, nope, there will be no information included with the product itself. It's just going to be packaged standalone. So when they receive it, it will say MOQ1 on the return address line, and they will know that it came from their shop. Will we receive this recording? Yes, absolutely. So I will send out a follow-up email with this recording, some resources that will allow you to share these shops with your clients, and this information on payables that I wrote down in order to help with an earlier question. So if there's any additional information you want me to send out, throw it in the Q&A feature, and I'm happy to include that for everybody. Can you get free samples, or do we need to buy them? So Emma, I'm not sure what your role is within the MOQ1 account that you are managing. We submit a $20 coupon code to all shop administrators for new company accounts that are created. If you are a rep within a company, that's not something that we're offering at this time. However, with these coupon codes that you can present to your clients, you can order those samples and have them sent to you and then present those in person to your client as well. So that's an option for you to be able to see that quality in person. Who was your clientele before entering the promo industry? Just curious whether we'll be running into some of these accounts in our realm. So we've kind of been operating with some corporate clients in the background in kind of our beta phase, but I can't name any specific names, unfortunately. That would go against some of our terms. But this product has been out on the market for about 5 years in that beta phase. And as many of you know, we presented this to the promotional products industry about 7 or 8 months ago. So we've been gleaning your feedback and making this the best product possible for you to present to your clients. So I hope that that helps, Jed. I'm sorry I had to be a little bit cryptic there. We have another question about the hats. So again, those are sublimated patches. So those patches are white by default, and then the logo is going to be added to the center of those. We're working on continuing to expand that option so that you can select a background color for those patches, but right now they are white with your logo centered on them. Do you anticipate offering a one color tonal imprint that changes based on the garment color selected? So Jed, it's interesting. I actually had a similar conversation with someone previously about this. That's not functionality that we see on the horizon, but you can create those as featured products standalone. So if you have, a gold logo and a gold product, you can build that featured product to be monochromatic if you want to do that as well, and then build that out for each of the colors that you want to offer your clients. Combining those into one listing is not possible at this time, but I did bring that feedback to the rest of the team, so we're looking into it as well. Do you need vector art in order to print logos on shirts? We accept vector art, but you can also submit transparent PNGs. We recommend a transparent PNG at 11 inches wide and 300 DPI. That accommodates all print sizes that we offer and allows us to print them in high resolution. If you have vector files, you can absolutely submit those to the system as well. They'll upload and print just fine. Just be aware, if you are not a graphic designer or generally the person who is creating the artwork and you have been maybe passing that to a screen printer, sometimes you'll notice that if you upload artwork, it can turn or have registration marks on it. That's because some vector art can include tags or instructions for software as it's being interpreted. So if you notice that, just go ahead and export that file as a PNG. It'll get rid of all of those funky instructions and we can print those PNG files just fine. We have a suggestion for adding a tumbler. So that's something that's on our radar as well. We're looking into that. I actually spoke to our product manager this morning just to see if we could explore that option. Okay, we have just some great feedback here. I'm just rolling through. There are just a few more questions here. I want to be cognizant of time. We've got about 8 more minutes on the clock. So I appreciate the compliments and I apologize for not acknowledging them. I just want to make sure we get to the questions as well. Do you have plans to have a video tutorial for the end user clients to watch? A number of clients have asked for a tutorial. We do not have this yet, but we are writing the script and working on the recording right now. We want you to have a resource to present these to your clients and make sure they see the value in the shots. For now, as I mentioned, I will be following up with the PDF flyer that you can present to your client to review the value props. But I understand that a tutorial of how the shop works is a really valuable thing as well. So we are working on that resource for you. We'll make sure that you are informed, Bart, when that happens. Is it possible to export a store into a PDF for clients who would like a physical copy similar to a catalog? That's a great question. So what I would suggest in this scenario is, well, I guess it wouldn't be a physical copy. I am not sure, actually, Andrew. I haven't tried to export a site as a PDF, so I'm not sure whether that functionality exists. But worst case scenario, what you could do is take screenshots and print them out. I know that's not an ideal scenario, but because I'm not sure, I want to be able to provide at least some solution to you. I'll look into it though, and I'll let you know. If you remove a product or product category from a shop or even a color, can you go back later and reverse that? So yes, absolutely. The MOQ1 platform was built on a system of rules to allow you to make changes to your shops really quickly, but we also keep a log of all of the rules that you created. So if you exclude a particular brand or product or color, you can go in and reverse that by deleting that rule or by simply making the change. So we list your included and excluded products at all times within the product tab in your account. So you can go into the excluded section of the account and include the same way you excluded, and that will add that product back to your shop. So I hope that helps. If you've encountered that and you need us to walk you through it, just reach out to us, Ralph, and we can help. Are you looking at printing directly onto caps at some point? Decoration on the front panel toward the bill is still pretty popular. So that's something that we started to look into last year, and I didn't get an update on it after our production director started exploring it. So I'll get an update, Jed. I know we're communicating via email already, so I'll send you an update after I get an answer. I've had clients request product lists so they can choose their products. Is this a future option? So I have actually created a catalog shop that I can send you that you can use as a resource when having these conversations with your clients. But I also encourage you to use your client shop as a way to optimize their product listings. So for instance, you can sit down with your client with their shop on the screen, and they can tell you whether they want a particular product in the shop. If you fully populate that shop from the jump, they're able to see the entire product catalog as well. But I will include that catalog in my follow-up email as well for your reference, Donna. Unless I'm missing something, it appears you have to include or exclude products one at a time. So Jed, you are missing something. So we allow you to exclude products based on your filtered view. So for instance, if you wanted to exclude all Gildan products, for instance, or all performance t-shirts, you could select those filters in the left filtering options in the product manager. And then you'll see a button appear at the top that says exclude filtered products. That will nix all of the products that you're currently looking at. So that's a really quick way to manage those inclusions and exclusions. And product colors, we actually have a few options. So if you want to add additional colors to your shop for all products, you can just head to the shop settings and add an additional shop color. And that would be the same module that you used when you created the shop in the beginning. If you want to remove product colors, you can also do that in the settings, but if it were maybe for a filtered view, so you don't want red Bella Canvas products, that's when you can use those filtered views. And you'll see that there is both a brand and a color option in the filtering options, and you can exclude everything from your filtered view that way as well. So we can go over that offline, Jed, if you have additional questions about it, but hopefully that helps. Okay, we've reached the end of the questions. We have 3 minutes left. I just want to take this time to thank you all for joining us today. It was a really fun conversation. We want to continue these conversations with you. If you have additional questions after we end out this webinar, you can respond to the email that I send you or utilize the contact information that I'll include. But I also want to encourage you all to join our MOQ1 Facebook group. It's a great group. I know a lot of folks that are in the group are in the crowd today, but you can join that group to interface with myself, other MOQ1 account managers, and users like yourselves who are utilizing this platform in their business practices already. So our community is a great resource to anyone who's trying to get the most out of their MOQ1 accounts. And I encourage you all to join. Okay, Jed, I am going to answer your question via email since we're just getting a little bit more into those inclusions, exclusions. But I'll make sure that we resolve that for you to make sure you can make it do exactly what you need it to do. But I'm going to go ahead and end the call there. I appreciate you all coming, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you. Bye.